Welcome to the Calm Codes podcast. I'm so excited. Episode 1, I thought I would start with my journey, a bit about me. I know some of you have probably been listening to me since the podcast started and has it's evolved. So thank you if you're still listening. I am so grateful you're still here with me and you've watched me evolve recently into a mother. I became a wife. I moved to New Zealand. A lot has happened in 5 years. And if you are new to my world, welcome. I'm Pippa Leslie, and my married name is actually Mortensen. I married Chris, my beautiful husband, in 2022. For this first episode, I wanted to kind of talk to you about my journey if you haven't met me before, or again, if you're new to my world. A journey that started from feeling like life was chaotic and having a lot of anxiety through my younger years. Always chasing love, always chasing to be saved. But deep down under all of that, I was such a sweet girl, always loved to help people. Definitely had people-pleasing parts, which we'll talk about in future episodes with internal family systems, a beautiful modality. But it kind of started before I knew what calm was. I probably thought I was a calm person back, 10, 20 years ago. But compared to now, it's completely different. So let's just start with a journey that started long before. Back when I thought peace meant having everything under control or keeping everyone else happy. Now, if you're listening and going, ping, 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 that sounds like me, keep listening. But with calm, I've learned it isn't about perfection or pretending. It's about feeling safe, real, and embodied safety within ourselves. That word embodiment I'm going to use a lot because when we embody that, it becomes our reality. I am going to talk about manifestation in the future episodes too, which is always a hot topic for me. So I'm going to take a breath. So today I want to share a piece of my own story, how chaos, trauma, motherhood, and healing led me to create the calm codes, and why this work matters to me so deeply. So for a long time, my nervous system lived in survival. I didn't know that at the time. I just thought I was anxious, busy, somewhat emotional. I was the girl that couldn't say no. I didn't want to let people down. I would just please everybody else. And I wanted to be liked. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. So I equated love to overgiving. And to some degree, I would say that's still truth. I'm working on myself all the time. And sometimes that does prop up from time to time. One thing I didn't realize was that my body was trying to keep me safe. The overfunctioning, which still today is something that I am dealing with, the doing, and attaching my worth to overfunctioning. Trying to slow down is definitely something that a lot of us struggle with, and people-pleasing tendencies is something that a lot of us struggle with, and burnout. So these are the things that really have showed up in my life that I still have little reminders to work on that part of me, because again, these are parts of us. One of my old beliefs was if I can hold it all together, I'll be okay. Because letting things kind of fall, that control comes in. And the emotional roller coaster of disconnection, exhaustion, losing myself, trying to fit in. It's just been one of those toing and froing kind of journeys of we all want to belong. We all want to fit in. We're tribal. We want to find our tribe. We want to be accepted and seen and heard. And it has been that shedding of old self for me and shedding of, I don't need to be liked. I love myself. And that's what matters. And I think letting go of other people's opinions. One thing I will say is throughout my journey on this podcast, I have quoted Wayne Dyer a lot. Wayne Dyer for me is like a spiritual father for me. He's on my wall in my sacred space and I adore his work. And I just adore everything he talks about. Whenever I am having low moments, Wayne brings me back to my true self. So there came a point where I just couldn't keep doing those things. And I just felt like my body was screaming for that peace but I didn't know how to listen to that. And I think that was kind of like where things started to shift for me. I'd say probably 10 years ago now is where I found Reiki, and I was watching The Secret, and that was kind of like where everything was shifting for me. I think we all have had it when we had a spiritual awakening. If you listen to this and you've had a spiritual awakening, I think some of us have different ways of explaining that spiritual awakening, which I think is important because each person is ignited spiritually, like to awaken different ways. So it was definitely Reiki and the Secret for me. Which if I go back to watch The Secret now, it's pretty funny because a lot of it is, it's not really the true depth of what manifestation is. But again, I'll leave that for another day, another podcast. So before I got to where I'm now, where I'm very much about nervous system regulation and trauma in the body and our mindset and things like that, I did start with positivity, healing self, The Secret, the manifestation and the mindset around that. And that's kind of where I started to really start to open up. Reiki opened me up in a lot of ways too. Having that, I feel like Reiki is an initiation to open our chakras and open our our soul remembers. It just takes our body a little bit of time to catch up. And I think I'm so grateful for my Reiki journey because my beautiful Reiki teacher, Sharon, she's out of the UK. I did all my levels with Sharon, and she was a massive piece of my journey in a sense of, you talk about someone calm. Sharon is calm, and I learned a lot from her, and I'm so grateful for her. I hope she's listening because she is awesome. And she taught me my Reiki master before I left for New Zealand. So just a bit of a side story with New Zealand. You probably hear my British accent living here in New Zealand. So I'm going to make this story short because it is a long story, which I will do a podcast episode on it. Talk about faith and hope and surrender. That's a big part of mine and Chris's journey. So met Chris 2019. That was a whirlwind love story, which I'll say for another day. Keep you in suspense. It was such a beautiful love story, and it still is. So he flew over to the UK. We decided to move to New Zealand because his kids are here, and that was COVID. So he left the UK in November of 2020. And I thought, I'll see you in a few months. The borders will open soon. I'll be able to see you. I couldn't get into New Zealand because obviously, I had no connection to the kids yet. And I'd never been to New Zealand. So it was kind of I have to stay behind. And it was the hardest thing dropping him off at London airport. I thought I'd see him in a couple of months. No, God had other plans. 18 months we were separated physically. Hardest 18 months I think I've ever been through in a sense of being away from someone you so deeply love and care about and not knowing when this is going to end. And I will admit there's still trauma around that. We have nights apart and we don't sleep very well. There's just a lot of stuff that we still unpack around being apart. But underneath all of that, getting to New Zealand, we reunited on Chris's birthday, the 4th of May of 2022. And we got married that year, which was awesome, amazing. My life's just got better and better and better and better as the years have come on. I'm now mother to my beautiful son, Noah. And as I'm recording this on the 30th of October, 2025, he turns 1 next week, which is insane. Any of you mums out there, that year goes so fast. And I can't believe he's 1 next week, but he has completely changed my life. He is such a beautiful soul. He's so smiley. He loves people. He loves the world. Just watching him be curious. And I think also that's been a beautiful thing for me too, because I've got to watch the wonder in him. And that's sometimes what we forget and we lose as we become older. We forget to have that magic and wonder, which is sad, but we have to connect to it. Like I keep looking out this way all the time and there's a beautiful lemon tree and the lemon tree's got flowers on it and it smells of this beautiful, it actually smells like jasmine and lilies and it reminds me of my nan. My nan passed in 2017, so every time I come to the cabin here to record, walking past that lemon tree reminds me of my nan. So she's probably around. She's always around. Anyway, back to the calm codes. I wanted to rebrand this from the conscious combo to the calm codes because I feel like the conscious combo was around growing my consciousness, expanding my consciousness, and I feel like I've got there. And now it's about bringing calm into the chaos, calm into our life, or whatever happens. And the reason I've created the calm codes as a program, as it's going to be a course soon, is because over the last, say, 2 years, I've kind of journaled a lot, and I've heard people always say to me, and it's a reoccurring thing, "Oh, you're so calm, Pip. How can you stay so calm?" And even as a new mother, I was really calm. Like, there was obviously instances where I was Googling, is this normal? And we all go through that stage. But, nurses would come to see me, and my midwife, and she said, for a new mother with a newborn, you are so calm. And this calm kept coming up for me all the time. And I sat with what calm meant for me and what it brings. And I think when you are calm, you are open to receive, and you move through life with that calm flow. And anything that does happen, for me, calm represents sitting back, taking a breath, and responding to life. And that takes us to the nervous system part of things. When we are in fight, flight, freeze, whatever response we're in, to move back into ventral vagal, into our rest and digest, into our calm state. It's about taking that pause. For me, it's a pause because we can react. I'm going to be unpacking a lot of stuff over the next few weeks with different episodes around fight, flight, around freeze, the nervous system, and trauma, lots of topics. I'm going to be bringing guests on again, which I can't wait for. But it's choosing calm no matter what situation you are in. And that's been a massive eye-opener and evolutionary emotion for me, really. It's kind of been an alignment piece as well. So when I say to people, and Wayne says this, if I could give you 2 wands, wand A, you can swish it and you will get anything you want, anything you desire, any moment. Wand B is, no matter what happens in your life, this wand will allow you to stay peaceful and calm. I'll admit, an older version of me would have been like, oh, one day, because one day gives me whatever I want. But now, as I'm older and I'm wiser, wand B, like anything that happens in your life, if you can have peace and calm, wow. And then if you think about that on a deeper level, if you're always calm and peaceful, you can manifest more deeply because your frequency is higher and your energy and your vibration is higher. So it's a win-win, really. And it's all good for the body. It's all good for the mind. If you just wish a wand and everything just turns up for you, you're going to get bored of that, really, aren't you? Like, you just get whatever you want. Anyway, besides the point, 1B would be my choice. So teaching Reiki has been a beautiful experience for me too. I still teach Reiki. It's not one of my main modalities right now. I'm doing a lot of somatic work at the moment, and internal family systems has been one of my favorite modalities to learn. Motherhood, how that shifted my healing work and reshaped that definition of calm. Just really how now it's not about just being calm for me, it's calm for Noah. And people have said, God, Noah's so calm, and he's a product of his surroundings, which is brilliant to know. Also, the realization that calm is not something we chase and find and go out looking for. It's something we return to. It's like purpose, isn't it? We don't go out looking for purpose. It's within us. That's when the calm codes was born. So, kind of similar to when Noah was born. It was around that time, really. I've been journaling on it a long time. But it's not born from steps. It's born as like a sacred reminder of calm isn't something we go out looking for. But it includes safety, boundaries, energy, truth, liberation, expansion. They're not just ideas, they're states of being. And I think that's the being part too, is that we're always doing. And we will talk about that in another episode, the different parts. I'm going to be talking about different parts. If you are new to internal family systems, it is brilliant. So we'll be talking about different parts that we all have and what they mean and how they show up and how we can step into being more. So this podcast is for those who are already on the path, the ones who have done the work but are ready to go just a little bit more deeper, the emotionally mature souls who crave connection, embodiment, and truth. So as I mentioned earlier, future episodes, we'll talk about boundaries, nervous system, energy work, relationships, embodiment, states of being, IFS, lots and lots and lots of different topics to talk about. I'll have guest experts coming on from different areas, a lot of solo deep dives for me as well. And the energy of the show for me is going to be soft, calm, expansive, and healing. So I'm really excited to have you on this journey with me. My hope, because we all need hope in this world, my hope is that every episode feels like a breath, a pause, a remembering of who you truly are beneath all the noise and the mess. I was saying that the other day to a friend about showing up as I am now. I've no makeup on. My beautiful mom has plaited my hair for me because I miss having that done when she's not here. They're visiting from the UK right now. I'm no makeup on. I'm wearing Bluey because I absolutely love Bluey and I love Disney, and you'll see me pull up in Disney outfits sometimes. But I was thinking, sometimes I can't show up with makeup on because I'm a mum and I'm busy and I don't wear a lot of makeup anyway. But it reminded me that it's okay to show up in the mess, like not having myself all perfected. And some days I might have makeup on. I'll look great and I'll be like, woo. Well, it's in the mess that the healing happens. And that's kind of a reminder for me too. So as we begin this journey together, I want you to take a deep breath. Don't close your eyes if you're driving. Just take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your body here now. You don't have to become calm. You already are. We're just learning to return to calm. So thank you for listening to my very first episode of the Calm Codes. If any of these messages resonated, share it with someone in your life that needs to listen to this, or someone who's walking their own path to home, to calm. So I can't wait to walk this journey with you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care, guys. Mwah.